Welcome back everybody to Shooting Gallery New England. We appreciate you swinging by. Don't forget to make sure you hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. Make sure we get some more subscribers up. Also, smash the notification bell to make sure you get notified when new videos like this is about to drop live. So today we're continuing with this super dope series on tandemizing your Ruger Mark IV target standard pistol. So you can see we've already added the Halo charging handle and recently the Titan mag release. I'm going to link both those videos down below in the description and hope you enjoy. So also I want to make this quite clear now. Recently I have been accepted into an affiliate program through TandemKross, so it's through Avant link. I just want to be transparent with all you viewers so you don't think I'm trying to like shill. They're not paying me. So the links below will now be affiliate links, including the links in the previous two videos as well. So just so we have some transparency with you guys. They do help the channel. If you go and you want to pick up a couple parts from TandemKross, the sales will help out the channel. So we appreciate that. There's going to be a link down in the description below. So today we're doing something completely cool. We're going to be adding the Victory Trigger. We're going to go with a Victory flat face trigger for the standard Mark IV target pistol. We hope you guys enjoy this video. We're going to get down to the tabletop now and we're going to show you how to install it, okay? Alright guys, so we're going to get right into it. We are going to be installing the Victory Trigger from TandemKross. I do want to thank TandemKross for sending this stuff over for this build series. Again guys, like last time in the video, remember, hashtag Tandemized. So this is going to be a little bit more tricky than typical, series that we've been going through. First off, I do want to show the effectiveness of this trigger first. So we're going to be taking the Lyman electronic trigger gauge. I'm going to link this video. I have a full detailed overview of this on one of the episodes of Gunsmith Alley. That video will also be linked in the description as well. So we're going to just first off take out the trigger, turn it around. We're going to get the trigger pull of said trigger. So just to be safe, it is an empty magazine and there's nothing in the chamber. There's a magazine disconnect safety for this. So we're going to turn this on. It looks good to me. Alright, so we're going to pull. So we're at about 3 pounds, 6.7 ounces. Let's do that one more time. Be good if I engage the firearm as well. So we also got 3 pounds, 4.9 ounces. So clear that out. So remember, around 3.4 pounds for the trigger pull. So now we're gonna go over a few things you're gonna need. Obviously, you're gonna need the trigger. Now, you don't need it, but if you have a bench block handy, that will help. So we're gonna do a bench block. You're gonna need some Loctite. I'm gonna go over this in a second when it comes down to the trigger. Let's focus in a little. Let's zoom in a little bit more. And there we go. Cool. So yeah, we're gonna need some Loctite. You can use the drop stuff, or you can use the glue stick. I prefer the glue stick because it's a little bit more handy. You're going to need a gunsmith hammer, one with a rubber or brass. I usually use the brass. This is my Grossi hammer. I use this for a lot of stuff. Small little punch to get the D10, the little like D10 spring for the takedown, the trigger pin. And you're going to need a 3/32 punch just for handy use. Now, let's first take down, let's get all the tools out of the way so we have a clean mat. Alright, so I'll make sure that's still there to appease TandemKross. So we're going to move the bench block aside. So I have a video on this before, so it's really not that hard. So make sure you drop the mag, safety's on, charge the weapon, safety's on, press the takedown button right here. Rotate, remove the upper receiver. You're not going to need the upper receiver at all. So this is what you are going to be working with, okay? Just look at that Titan magos. That looks so dead sexy on this gun. The silver really makes this pop. So, what you're going to do is take your empty mag, insert your magazine into the gun, and your hammer, depress it, make sure this doesn't come flying forward. So just kind of put your finger over it and just obviously take the safety off, then press it, and there you go. Cool. So your hammer is depressed. Now you can drop the mag, and this is where the fun part comes in. So I'm gonna take it out. I did this like a pre-test before I started filming, guys, so that's why stuff might be open. I want to make sure I know what I'm doing. Now in the package, you're gonna get 2 set screws for over travel and trigger set reset. I already installed those, so that's what you're gonna need the Loctite for. You want to hit those little screw, the over travel and reset screws with the Loctite. Also, you want to say at least 6 mother effers as you're installing it, because again, if you're cursed with big fingers, you have to say at least 6 mother effers as you're installing these screws, because it just takes a little bit. And if you're impatient like me, as long as you have the Loctite on there though, I recommend taking this little, you're gonna get a little Allen key, pop them on there first, then install them along with the 6 mother effers. You cannot forget the 6 mother effers, because it's going to be a little bit of a pain. Now, but still, it's not like rocket science. It's very simple. I just have ogre-sized fingers, so little D10 screws. It's not really my bag. They do come the Victory trigger. Look at that, nice flat face trigger, nice and silver. That is just dead sexy. This is going to contrast the gun so well. So it does have a little bit of serrations on the front of the flat face trigger. But other than that, I cannot wait. I tested it out before I filmed, and this is coming out so great. So they do make the Victory trigger in a couple different colors, along with the Halo charging handle and the Titan mag leads. Some come in red, blue, silver, a couple come in green, and then just the standard black. Just wanted to throw that out there and make sure you guys know it's not just silver. You can get a wide variety of colors in the TandemKross line. So we're gonna get right into it. So this is where the bench block comes in. Now, when I test fitted this, it says there's a little bit of a spring you gotta push down. I didn't have to do that. Your trigger pin, which is right here. Oh, didn't mean to keep knocking the camera, guys. So your trigger pin, which is right here, you want to make sure that is the one that comes out. It's only gonna come out the right side because it's a taper, so it's coming out this side. So I'm gonna pop this on here. I always like to put my safety on, even though I don't need it. You're gonna take a 3/32 punch. Again, this might be a little overkill, but just to be sure. Now, when you're looking at the trigger, make sure this comes in focus. All right, cool. Now, again, to your right, there's a little pin that needs to come out. Then you have to pop down right there. So that didn't happen with me. I didn't have to do it. It just makes it a little bit easier. So I just want to stand up, get that nice and close. So make sure you take your 3/32 punch. Start it right here. And I'm using brass because it's not going to mar my finish. Get the trigger out of the way. Okay. Take that. Give it a little force, pop it out, and I just gracefully take the pin and just wiggle it out. Alright, so take your pin, put it on the other side. Now you can put it on the opposite side to make the bolt loose, but I'm going to tell you a really easy way to do it. You can't really show it on camera just because it's like, you know, it's right in there, but it's very simple. So now you take the pin out. I mean, since you took the pin out, start kind of working your way and moving the trigger out. Now, to make this easier on yourself, this trigger bar, you can pull it forward, and then as you're depressing the trigger to pull it out, pop it back a little bit. It's gonna work. You're just working your hand, and you're gonna hear definitive like click to make sure it's gonna come out. So it takes a little bit of pull. Okay. Give me 1 second. Hear that click? Alright. There we go. Takes a little bit of working with it, guys. Okay, so Alright, there we go. Cool. You hear that click, you're going to feel it engage. So, oh shit, the pin fell out. Alright, so we'll go over that in a second. Alright, so now your trigger bar is going to come out. Make sure you take your detent, that's your trigger. Detent and spring, put that aside. So what happened while I did that, because again, I'm an ogre and I just take it happens, but don't freak out if this happens. So your pin, you have a pin on your right side where the trigger bar is going to rest above. It's bound to happen. Thank God it happened on camera so I can show it. So lift your trigger bar out, and there's going to be a little bit of a detent where you can kind of, this is the pin that I was talking about that you're going to have to make sure this doesn't fall out. Take the right angled side. So see, that is the pin that you just need to make sure is pushed into the side. Now we're gonna go back to the bench, and it went out of focus there. We're gonna go back to the bench and continue the install. Now that we got that figured out, I just want to make sure I pointed that out. So now is the fun part. We're gonna take our Victory Trigger, and now we're gonna put this in the gun. So you're gonna take your spring and detent spring and plunger that you took from the old trigger, pop that in, just like that. So now, the fun part. So you're gonna take your trigger bar, you can flip it right up, just like that. Align the hole, make sure the trigger detent plunger is in. So now you're gonna work yourself back in. Sorry if my hand's covering up, guys. I'm just trying to do this. It's all the way it's supposed to go. Cool. Well, there you go. Alright, so this is where it's supposed to go. Take your 3/32 inch punch. Well, not even 3/32, it's just that little detent. Just push that down enough to where it's going to go over the trigger bar. So now you take your trigger pin, again, you're going to see this little detent. Let's put that down. You're going to see this little curve. Make sure that's the way going. You're going to point that going towards the left side of the receiver. It only goes in one way. So now you start that. You push the, you kind of keep your hand on the trigger pin. Push that down a little bit so it can kind of go in and should kind of pop right in. And okay, now that's where you take your hammer, tap it a little bit. Still didn't go in? Alright, cool. This happens very easy. It's not that hard. It's a little bit of work, guys, to make sure that you get that little notch pushed down enough to where the trigger pin's going to move freely. You gotta kind of push it and pull it around. Might do this off camera, sorry about that. Again, the mother effers during this will come in handy because you're going to be cursing up a storm just getting this little bar around. So now, let's see if we'll go in now. Okay, so, went in. So now, here's the other part. You have to make sure your bolt release is gonna come, you know, a level for the pin to pop through. So what I usually do is just lift up, make sure you get a little bit of pliableness. Now you have a spring on the left side right in front of your bolt release bar. You're gonna see it. Make sure that's in there. That will sometimes fall out. It's not that hard. Just place it back in with a punch or something like that, and then make sure the bar is going to go over, because this bar has to go down low enough for the trigger so the trigger pin can pass through the trigger, the bolt release bar, and that little pin that fell out. So now, again, this is more just kind of pull and play, guys. Once that happens, that should be able to come right through. You can take your 3/32 punch, push the front of the bar down. Alright, that should work. Then give your brass side. There you go. And essentially, your trigger is through. Now, what you're going to want to do now, take your empty mag, pop it in, take your hammer, make sure the safety's depressed, pull the hammer back, you hear that clicking in, and your hammer's back. Now this is where you need your upper receiver. Rotate it on, safety on, so the takedown button can be pressed. You're going to be coming right here, press the button, push down, and you have a working new trigger in the gun. The gun's fully put back together. So, let's see how the trigger bar works. Now we have the new Victory trigger installed, which this looks dead sexy, I might add. Look at that. Flip it around. So you have the Halo charging handle, the Titan mag release, and now you have the Victory trigger. It's a skeletonized trigger as well, flat face. It looks just dead sexy. I cannot get over how this contrasts the gun. Alright, so let's just make sure, see if it makes a little bit of a difference in trigger weight. It shouldn't, because you're not replacing like trigger springs and stuff like that. But, so again, there's nothing in the gun. You just need to put the magazine in because of the magazine disconnect safety. TandemKross does make an upgraded part. Maybe down the road I might check that out just to kind of help you guys out when you're working on this. It is actually a good feature to add into this pistol. I just was looking for, okay, a couple things that an everyday shooter is going to want to upgrade on the gun. The magazine disconnect safety, yeah, it's a pain in the rear end, but you can kind of get past it. So now we're going to drop the bolt and make sure the magazine is. That's the one thing. You gotta make sure that you don't drop the gun on the Titan because it is an extended mag release. So before we upgraded the trigger, it was around 3 pounds, 4 ounces, give or take. So now, let's turn this on, clear it out. Okay, so we're gonna pull the trigger, and I'm not pulling this at all, guys. I'm not holding the trigger bar. Oh, messed up. Because the safety was on, that's why. Okay guys, listen. It happens. I always make sure the safety's on whenever I'm working with a gun, so sometimes that stuff's gonna happen. So, re-clear it. And... wow. So this might be an anomaly, but we're at 2 pounds, 8.4 ounces. So if that's true, we just went down just under a pound just on trigger pull weight alone. We're gonna reset it. Okay. I always double click the ready button on this lineman just to make sure I'm doing everything right. So we're gonna pull it again. So, here it is again. 2 pounds, 12.8 ounces. Let's do this one more time just to be safe. Just because I'm not going to keep doing it, but 3 times is the charm. So, clear it. 3.7.9 ounces. Alright, so let's average it. So we have an average of 1.30. So yeah, we're gonna average around 2.7 pounds. I redid it, and it does add a little bit of, it actually takes away a little bit of trigger pull weight. So that is exactly how you are going to install the Victory trigger. Guys, this trigger feels so good in the hand. It's like, it feels right at home. I cannot stress enough how much I love flat face triggers, and if you love flat face triggers, I definitely recommend this. Once we get this to the range, it's probably going to enhance my love even more. But just the sheer, I don't have to worry about that curve. The serrations on the trigger alone are they're not aggressive enough where they're going to hurt my trigger finger, which again, it's a 22, so you're not going to get a lot of recoil. But still, it is comfortable at home. I like it. So we're going to get back up talk. Again, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Shooting Gallery New England. Follow us on Instagram, Gunstreamer, and Facebook. Also, we want to thank you again to TandemKross for sending this. So let's get back up top, okay? So that trigger install, clearly there's a little bit you gotta work with there with the trigger bar, but I still feel that this flat face Victory trigger from TandemKross is coming out so well. There are a few things you do want to look out for. Make sure, one, that you do a couple mother effers as you're putting the preset screws into the trigger before you put the new trigger in. Also, watch out for the D10 spring. Make sure it doesn't fly across the room. It's not a good time. It's, you know, that sheer fear alone will stop most people from doing this trigger install. But again, that happens when you're on the bench. Just be clear of that, and also make sure that your bench is organized, you have the right tools. I can't stress that enough, having the right tools for the job. So, hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the bell, all that good stuff. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram. Thank you again to TandemKross for helping out with this build. We got one more video on this build series, and then we're going to have a range footage once everything opens back up, because, you know, the coronavirus thinks we can't even go outside. So, have a go on, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.